Today, we are talking about Britain, again, and the Jews, and how the country that promised a Jewish homeland became one of its greatest obstacles. It's a story of promises made and promises broken, moral commitments abandoned for oil, of a nation that chose Arab goodwill over Jewish survival. From the Mandate period through today, Britain has consistently sacrificed Jewish interests on the altar of appeasing oil-rich Arab states. Shalom, I'm Igal and this is Middle East in less than 5 minutes. Let's trace this betrayal. The Balfour Declaration, a promise. November 2nd, 1917, Britain issues the Balfour Declaration. His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people. Promise, clear, explicit, enshrined in the League of Nations mandate for Palestine in 1922. Britain was tasked with securing the establishment of the Jewish national home and safeguarding the civil and religious rights of all the inhabitants of Palestine. That was the commitment. That was the obligation. And for about 15 years, Britain sort of honored it. Jewish immigration was allowed. Communities grew, infrastructure developed. But then, Arab oil started mattering more than British promises. The White Paper of 1939, the first betrayal. 1936 to 1939, the Arab revolt in Palestine. Arabs attack Jews, attack British, demand an end to Jewish immigration. Britain's response? Cave. May 1939, Neville Chamberlain's government issues the White Paper. The policy? Limit Jewish immigration to 75,000 over 5 years. After that, further immigration would require Arab consent. Restrict Jewish land purchases, establish an independent Palestine with an Arab majority within 10 years. Let me be clear about the timing. It's May 1939. The Nazis had been in power for 6 years. Kristallnacht had happened 6 months earlier. Jews were desperately fleeing Europe. And Britain lost Palestine. Why? Oil, strategic interests, Arab goodwill. Britain wanted Arab support against Germany and Italy in the coming war, so they sacrificed the Jews. The White Paper explicitly stated Britain would not allow the Arab population of Palestine to be made the subjects of a Jewish state against their will. Translation: Arab preferences matter, Jewish survival doesn't. Chaim Weizmann, president of the World Zionist Organization, called it a betrayal. He said it was a policy that gave the Arab extremists every position they demanded. And he was right. The consequences: death. The White Paper remained in effect through World War II. From 1939 to 1945, 6 million Jews were murdered in the Holocaust. Many tried to flee, to escape, to find refuge. Palestine, the Jewish homeland promised by Britain, was close to them. Ships carrying Jews refugees were turned away, sent back. Some passengers ended up in concentration camps. The MS St. Louis in 1939, over 900 Jewish refugees denied entry to Cuba, to United States, and Britain wouldn't let them into Palestine. Many end up dead. Illegal immigration attempts were blocked by the British Navy. Ships intercepted. Refugees detained, sent to internment camps in Cyprus or Mauritius. Britain enforced the White Paper with military force against Jews fleeing genocide. Let that sink in. While Jews were being murdered in Europe, Britain was preventing them from reaching safety, because Arab oil interests mattered more. 1948. The arms embargo. May 14th, 1948. Israel declares independence. May 15th, 1948, 5 Arab armies invade. The goal? Destroy Israel, kill or expel all Jews. And Britain imposed an arm embargo. On paper, it applied to both sides. In reality, it crippled Israel, while Arab states had British-trained armies and British-supplied weapons. Jordan's Arab Legion, commanded by British General John Glubb, equipped and funded by Britain. The embargo meant Israel couldn't legally buy weapons, couldn't get ammunition, couldn't defend itself. David Ben-Gurion wrote in his diary, "America did not raise a finger to save us, and moreover imposed an arms embargo, and had we been destroyed, they would not have resurrected us." Golda Meir said, "The Arabs had an absolute superiority of manpower and arms and had been given considerable help by the British in various ways, both direct and indirect. And what did we have? Not much of anything." Israel survived by smuggling weapons from Czechoslovakia, by American Jews defying US embargoes, by sheer desperation, not because of Britain, despite Britain. And why is embargo? Same reason as always: Arab oil, Arab goodwill, British interests in the Middle East. Britain needed Arab support, needed access to oil, needed strategic bases. Jewish survival? Secondary. (1956, 67, 73). The pattern continues. 1956. Suez crisis. Britain actually joins Israel in attacking Egypt. Why? Not to help Israel, to protect British control of the Suez Canal. As soon as that goal failed, Britain abandoned Israel. 1967, the Six-Day War. Britain imposes an arm embargo on Israel. Luckily, it only lasts 24 or 36 hours because France refused to go along. But the instinct was there. When Arabs attack Israel, Britain restricts Israeli ability to defend itself. 1973, Yom Kippur War. Egypt and Syria launch surprise attack on the holiest day of the Jewish calendar. Britain imposes another arm embargo, this time on battlefield countries, Israel, Egypt and Syria, but not on other Arab states. Saudi Arabia, Libya, Algeria, they could still buy British weapons. The logic? We'll embargo Israel and the Arab states actively fighting, but we'll keep selling to the Arab states, funding and supporting them. Perfect British logic. Appears neutral, actually helps the Arabs. And why? October 1973. Arab oil embargo. OPEC cuts production, bans oil sales to countries supporting Israel. Oil prices quadruple. Western economies panic. And Britain learns, don't anger the Arabs. Today, nothing has changed. Fast forward to today, post-October 7th, 2023. Hamas massacres 1,200 Israelis, rapes women, burns families alive, kidnaps babies. Israel responds. Britain's reaction? Calls for ceasefire, calls for restraint, criticizes Israeli military operations. Arms sales to Israel restricted. Meanwhile, Britain continues selling arms to Qatar, the country that funds Hamas, that hosts Hamas leadership. The pattern is unbroken. When Jews are attacked, Britain urges restraint. When Israel defends itself, Britain imposes restrictions. When Arab states want weapons, Britain sells. Why? Same reason. Always the same reason. Oil, money, goodwill. The moral bankruptcy. Here's what Britain has done. 1939, closed Palestine to Jews fleeing genocide, to appease Arabs. 1948, imposed arms embargo on newborn Israel, while Arab states invaded, to maintain Arab alliances. 1967 to 73, repeatedly restricted arms to Israel during wars. to protect oil interests. 2023 to 26 criticized Israel's response to the worst massacre of Jews since the Holocaust to avoid Arab anger. Every single time, the calculation is the same: Jewish life versus British interests. And British interests win. This isn't about legitimate criticism of Israeli policy. This is about a consistent pattern of sacrificing Jewish security for Arab appeasement. The oil factor. Let's be explicit. Britain doesn't have oil. Britain needs oil from the Middle East. Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, Iraq, all Arab, all opposed to Israel. So Britain has a choice: support the Jewish state and anger oil producers, or appease oil producers and abandon the Jews. Britain chooses oil every time. 1973 Arab oil embargo taught Western nations Arab oil can be weaponized. Don't make them angry. And Britain learned the lesson well. Today, British policy toward Israel is shaped not by morality, not by historical commitments, not by the Balfour Declaration. It's shaped by oil prices, by energy security, and by economic interests. Jewish lives, Jewish state, Jewish survival? Nah, secondary considerations. The hypocrisy. And here's the most galling part. Britain claims moral authority. British politicians lecture Israel about human rights, about proportionality, about international law. The same Britain that closed Palestine during the Holocaust, that armed Arab armies invading Israel in 1948, that imposed embargoes on Israel while it fought for survival, that sells weapons to Qatar which funds Hamas. That Britain lectures Israel about morality. The same Britain that colonized half the world, committed atrocities from India to Kenya to Ireland, now lectures the only Jewish state about how to defend itself. It's fucking obscene. What Britain owes. Britain owes the Jewish people, not just because of the Balfour Declaration, not just because of the mandate, because Britain betrayed Jews when it mattered most. 1939 to 1945, the Holocaust, Britain could have opened Palestine, could have saved life. Chose not to. How many Jews died because Britain enforced the White Paper? Tens of thousands? Hundreds of thousands? We'll never know. But we know this: British policy killed Jews. And Britain has never apologized, never acknowledged, never made amends. Instead, Britain continues the same policy: appease Arabs, constrain Israel, protect oil interests. From Balfour to betrayal. That's the British story. A promise made in 1917, abandoned by 1939, violated in 1948, ignored ever since. Why? Oil. Always oil. Arab states have oil. Jews don't. So when Britain has to choose, it chooses oil. Jewish survival, Jewish state, Jewish homeland promised by Britain itself, all negotiable. All expendable, all secondary to British interests. This isn't ancient history, this is ongoing. Britain's policy toward Israel today is shaped by the same calculations that shaped the White Paper of 1939 and the arms embargo of 1948. Appease the Arabs, protect oil access, constrain Israel. And if Jews die, well, that's regrettable. But British interests come first. That's the lesson. That's the pattern. That's Britain and the Jews. From Balfour to betrayal. And the betrayal continues. If you find this episode helped you see the world differently or understand something that bothered you, follow this podcast, rate it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you listen to it, and share it with your friends. Help spread the word. Thank you. I'm Igal, and this was Middle East in less than 5 minutes. Until next time, Shalom.